What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, and welcome to Vlogmas. So today's a Vlogmas video. I decided I would throw it back to old school YouTube and do a story time, which is kind of random. But if you haven't been watching my Vlogmas videos this far, you might not know that at the very beginning of Vlogmas, I broke my finger. It actually happened on Thanksgiving. And I am just going to tell you guys a little bit about how I broke my finger, what the healing process has been like. There will be photos included, so this is a trigger warning for that kind of thing. It's not bloody or gory, just bruising. So I'm going to be showing those photos throughout the video and kind of just show my progress throughout the whole experience. This is my first time breaking something in my conscious life, I guess I would say. I broke my collarbone when I was born, and that was when I was born, so I don't remember that. And then I guess I chipped my ankle bone or broke my ankle bone. Maybe it was in middle school ice skating or something, but seriously guys, I cannot remember either of those experiences. Second, it might have been elementary or middle school. I don't even know about that second one. But this was my first real experience with fully breaking, having the pain, having the bruising, having all of that, and having to deal with it as an adult with my own insurance, my own money. My mom's not here to help me through it. I've got to figure it out. So it's just been a time, and I thought we could talk about it. Like I said, I broke my finger on Thanksgiving, so let's throw it back to then. On Thanksgiving, we were in Washington, D.C. visiting my boyfriend Angelo's family. So if you didn't watch those Vlogmas videos, go back to Vlogmas's day 2 and day 3. Those are my Washington, D.C. videos. And in day 2, I actually showed us playing family football, it's something we've made an annual tradition. It's super fun, and I definitely always get hurt somehow. I'm not super fit. I'm not even really super athletic. So last year I definitely was sore, and everyone was sore. It totally takes it out of you. But this year I caught the ball kind of funky. So this is how I've been explaining it to people. If we pretend that my phone was the football and the football was coming at me, I had both my hands open to catch it, right? And it came down right on this ring finger and jammed it in, was kind of the situation that occurred. So while we're playing football, someone throws me a pass. I didn't catch it. You guys, that's the worst part. I didn't catch the freaking pass, which literally, like my doctor said, verbatim, that adds insult to injury. But anyway, it hits my finger, jams it in, it hurts. I dropped the ball. I'm like, oh, ow, that hurt. People are like, are you good? Are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine, but I think I just broke my nail. So if you're watching this and you've ever broken one of your fingernails, especially if you have long nails, mine are kind of long right now, so if you've ever had long nails, then you might be familiar with the sensation you get when you break your nail, and then it's kind of tingly and it hurts in the top of your finger. And I was like, ow, I think I totally just broke my nail. But then I looked at it and I started to feel my nail, and I'm like, I didn't break my nail, but my finger kind of hurts. And so it was in that moment that I was just like, okay, that was weird and it totally stings, and I was kind of shaking it a little bit, but I walked it off and kept playing football like a psychopath. I didn't know at that point the severity of anything. So I continue to play football with everybody. It's still hurting, and then by the end of playing football, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely swelling up. I hurt it pretty good. I showed it to Angelo's mom. She's like, yeah, I think you definitely you messed with a tendon or pulled a muscle or something. That is getting really swollen. And so for the first day, my finger was just huge. I mean, this finger was massive, and you guys can tell right now even probably the discoloration of this finger compared to the others. But on the first day, it was really swollen, and it was all really localized into that first knuckle, but I couldn't even fully bend my finger because of the severity of the swollenness. It was so huge and blown up that I couldn't even bend it or have full mobility in that finger. So that was really weird, but we continued to think that maybe it was just a tendon or something. And when everybody else went to go play volleyball after the football game, I decided to sit out because my finger hurt, also because I'm not that good at volleyball and it's not my favorite. So I'm glad I made that choice because I probably could have made it a lot worse had I played. But that is kind of what happened on Thanksgiving Day. So I am calling that day 1 because that is when it happened, and it happened earlier in the day. I kind of lived with it all throughout that day. So I'm going to put a picture on the screen here and you can see what my finger looked like on day 1. This is a side-by-side comparison. It's a little bit hard to tell, but you can, especially if you zoom in, you can really see how big my knuckle was compared to the others. You can see, like, it's just crazy how much the skin is just stretched out. So the next day, day 2, we went into DC and I walked around with a broken finger all day without even knowing at all. So we went to the International Spy Museum, we saw the sights, we went to Shake Shack for lunch, and there is where Angela's mom got a cup of ice and gave it to me to put my finger in it. So I was literally walking around DC in the freezing cold with my ring finger in a cup of ice water all day. Like, I just kept carrying it around until it completely lost all coldness. So that was really funny, and obviously on day 2 the bruising really kicked in, and that's kind of what it started to look like. And then on day 3, this was just some pictures from the Airbnb where we were staying. I took some more pictures and it was starting to really get bruised, like black and blue on the knuckle, green and dark all around my rest of my finger. And that's when I decided, like, I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe I should get this checked out when I get home. I was hoping by day 3 it would be healing up, but it seemed to have only gotten bigger, more swollen, more bruised, and I was like, that can't be a good sign. So that's when I fully decided, like, I think I might go to an urgent care. We'll see. But I also didn't want to spend an entire day of vacation at an urgent care in another state with my insurance and all of that. It felt like a lot. So I thought, let's just wait till I get home. So that was on a Saturday, and then we got home on Sunday, had dinner, and went to bed because it was a long day, and on Monday to go to urgent care. So on day 5, November 27th, my finger was looking rough, you guys. Like, it was disgusting. It was getting black and blue to the craziest extent. I was shocked at what it was looking like, and that's the day that I decided to go to urgent care. And at urgent care, which by the way had such a pleasant experience, I'd never had a good urgent care experience before this, but on Monday when I went, I was there for maybe a total of 45 minutes. I went in, I saw a nurse who prepped me, had me get ready for x-rays. An x-ray tech took me back for x-rays, and then I met a doctor, and he came in and just straight up told me, your finger is broken. He said, you have a chip, which is also known as an avulsion fracture, in the bone in my finger. That is pretty much all of the information he gave me, but he said, I really need you to follow up with an orthopedic surgeon within the week to determine whether or not you need surgery. And I was thinking in my head, what the hell? I never thought about needing surgery. So at that point, I was like, not only am I shocked that my finger's broken, I thought I just bruised it really bad, but now I might have to get surgery. I was freaking out. I came home and I reviewed the x-rays myself because I was curious to see what the break actually looked like. I didn't actually see it at the urgent care. Things were so fast there. So I came home and saw it. I'll put it on the screen here. It's actually insane. You can really see how all of my fingers look relatively normal, but then if you look at the ring finger and you actually zoom in on this knuckle, the one that was super bruised and swollen, you can see a crack in the bone. So that is where I broke my finger. So at the urgent care, they put my hand in a splint, which was so weird, and told me to immobilize it until I saw the orthopedic surgeon, because if it were broken to a point of needing surgery, they wouldn't have wanted it to get any worse. But that was still not a decision of whether or not I needed surgery. Hopefully I'm making sense there. So I was in a splint until further notice. The next day, day 6, I had been taking some medication that I got for the swelling and for the pain from the urgent care, and so in the photo on November 28th, my finger is back down to a relatively normal size, but just black and blue. Like, this is definitely the worst day of coloring, the worst it looked throughout the whole process, but the swelling was going down, which was really good news. And then on day 7, November 29th, there was nothing really exciting to update on, except here's what my finger looked like. And then on day 8, November 30th, So this was a Thursday. This is when I actually saw the orthopedic surgeon and determined that I did not need surgery. Yay! I was so happy to get that news because, like I said, I never contemplated it before, but then once it got in my head, I kind of spiraled a little bit. So he confirmed that I shouldn't need surgery at all, and he advised me to take off the splint immediately because even from Monday to Thursday, I had lost so much mobility, you guys. When I went into the urgent care, I could pretty much bend my finger fully. Because it was swollen, it wouldn't go closed, but it was close. And when the orthopedic surgeon took off my splint and asked me to move my finger, I could go like this. Like, that's about it with those two fingers. My other fingers are fine, but those two could not move. It was my ring finger that I broke, and my pinky, which I learned that I was really isolating with it, not on purpose, just by habit. So I could barely move them within 4 days of being isolated, which I thought was crazy. I didn't realize that could happen that fast. But he advised me to get it moving immediately, and he sent me home with, one second, he sent me home with this, which I have been lovingly calling my butter. Doesn't it look like a little butter? It looks like a little stick of butter. So this is now what I call my butter, and every day I squeeze my butter and try to work on the mobility of that finger. Really, this is just a memory foam block. But he sent me home with this, and he said, I'm gonna give you a week. Really work on that mobility, because if you can't close your hand, that's a problem. We don't want you to have frozen finger. We don't want you to heal like that. So he said, I'll give you 1 week. You're gonna come back and show me how much you can move your finger, and we'll determine if you need to do physical therapy. So after all that, I have been home now for almost a week. I'm going back tomorrow as I film this, so fingers crossed for that. But I've been doing really good with the mobility, as you guys can see. I can close my hand just about normal. You can see here I can get a lot more bend than here, but they're pretty close. And so fingers crossed I don't need to do that physical therapy. I'd really love to just be on the road to recovery without that, but we'll see. And I've been loving squeezing my butter. I would carry it around all day and do this. So anyway, that is the full update, but I am gonna put in all of the pictures of my finger, okay? So like I said, I would show you guys progress. This is day 8 when I saw the orthopedic surgeon, and then this is day 9, so that's when I started really working on mobility and things like that. And then I have day 11. You can see it's really starting to heal up. And then day 13, which was yesterday as I'm filming this, looking pretty good. And then I took some pictures this morning. Today is day 14. Like I mentioned, my appointment is tomorrow as I'm filming, and the color is so much better. I can't even believe it's the same like hand, same picture and all that, because it's really starting to heal. So that is a good thing. Anyway, I feel like this video got very long without even intending to do so, which explains why I have a podcast, because I could just talk forever all day and all night. Yeah, but anyway, I better end this video because it's getting lengthy. However, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my broken finger story. Comment down below if you've ever broken a bone or if you haven't, because yeah, I apparently now have broken 3. I will say it's much less of an easy experience, I guess, without having your parents to do everything for you. Like when I was born, like I said, don't remember. When this happened with my ankle, like my mom took me to the hospital, we got x-rays. I don't even remember what happened after that. I think I just went home and like kept using my foot as normal, kind of like I'm doing with my hand, but my mom took care of everything. And now it's like I have to go make all my appointments. I have to make sure I show up on time for these appointments. I have to make sure I pay for every appointment. I have to make sure that my insurance is processing everything correctly, and that my insurance is paying for the appointments where they should be. I have to make my prescriptions, pick them up, pay for them, etc. So, you know, it's definitely a different experience now being an adult and having to deal with that on my own. But overall, I am very lucky, very happy to be healthy. So the last thing I'll say is a fun fact that I learned. I don't know if it's fun, but I asked Angelo's mom, which by the way, she has worked in sports medicine and has like a lot of qualifications in that area. And she was talking to me about like how long the bone is actually broken. That's something I asked her because I didn't remember to ask the doctor, but I'm like, he said I can move it and lift things and do normal things even though it's broken, but how long is it until it actually heals? And she said for an adult, it's a lot of times 6 to 8 weeks Like, how crazy is that? But she also said that because I'm mobilizing and really working on my strength, that it could be a little bit faster for me. But I just thought that was a really weird fact, and I don't know, something I never thought about until now, having a broken finger. So even though it's only been 2 weeks, we'll see how long it takes until it's fully healed. And I don't even know what the process looks like, so I'll let you guys know if I learn anything else. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed listening and watching. And of course, I will see you guys tomorrow since we're doing Vlogmas. If you have any video requests, comment them down below and I'll be sure to check them out. And that's it. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.